Well, I can't remember the exact dates that we started, but there were 2 reviews of the manifesto that happened within the last 5 years. We first started a focus group where we consulted widely. We consulted different people in society outside the Workers' Party to get the different views on the current manifesto and what things need to be updated in time for the next election. Followed by that, there was a committee convened within the Workers' Party to really go through all those recommendations and decide whether to accept those or propose new proposals inside there. So this was a process that spanned, I'll say, more than 2 years.
Okay, Zakir, with regard to your question about what's new and what has been retained, I'll just give a general sense because it's quite a long document. So as you correctly pointed out, some of the contents of our previous manifesto remain in there because our beliefs don't really change very much over time. So our general views on governance issues, on labour issues, and even on healthcare, the fact that we believe that risk pooling is very important for healthcare, those are fundamentals that remain the same. But of course, we have observed the developments in Singapore over the last 5 years, and for this manifesto, there's more focus on certain things. For example, the cost of public housing. We have paid a bit more attention to that because that's obviously a big issue now in the light of how property prices have skyrocketed, I should say, over the last few years. Next, of course, we did pay more attention this time to immigration. And in 2006 manifesto, our population was simply entitled, our chapter was simply entitled population, but for this particular manifesto, we have actually said population and immigration. And if you look at the detailed chapter, you will find that there are some detailed proposals about immigration and how we feel that immigration criteria should be made more transparent and things like that. Last of all, on the civil liberties front, because the government has pushed back civil liberties further, so we feel we have to come back and reinforce our defense of civil liberties. So we have looked at what they have done with regard to public order, as Peter mentioned, and so on. So this is just to highlight some differences from the last one.
Yeah, we consulted people from the ground, people who are actually the beneficiaries or the so-called victims of the policies. We also consulted within our party. Our whole CEC was involved in the review of the manifesto, including some other people who were outside of CEC but were experts in various areas. And lastly, we also did consult certain experts in various areas to just review our final manifesto and just get their inputs.
We did that the last time as well. The question was, why did we introduce our manifesto before our candidates? Because we feel that this is appropriate for us to let the people know where we stand on issues. And I don't think that our potential candidates in that sense have been hidden away. They have been quite active in various activities and all that. So, Azaha, I don't know what you're getting at. Opposition as a whole, I don't think we can speak for them. But I think personally, my own view is that one benchmark that we should aim towards over time is at least to have 1/3 of the elected seats in non-ruling party hands. For the very simple reason that is the benchmark needed to block constitutional amendments. And if we really believe that the Constitution is important to us and that, it should not be amended for inadequate reasons, then I think it's very important for us to defend it. And if the government should ever try to amend it for partisan advantage, for example, I think that it's important for there to be sufficient numbers of members in the House to vote against it. So I think over time, 1/3 representation to me is quite important. I can't predict the course of the future in that sense, but to me this is a matter of principle. No, I'm just speaking as a lawyer actually. Yeah, because this is just a fact under the Constitution. To implement an amendment, it has to be passed by at least 2/3 of the elected members in the House. So, in order for us to have a check against the government changing the Constitution at will, this is the number of MPs that we will need. We actually discussed this in detail, and I don't think we want to take any particular country as a benchmark, because we feel that we are mature enough right now to decide what kind of parliament we want to have for ourselves. And fundamentally, the issue of a parliament which is robust and can check on the executive government effectively, that is our key criteria. So earlier on, when I was introducing the campaign slogan, I did highlight a couple of features of the First World Parliament, as well as some benefits which I saw, or which we see accruing to Singaporeans arising from that. So do you all need me to repeat it? Because anyway, it is in the media brief, which we will hand to you, so you can just copy from there. Well, from our experiences doing house visits and all that, we don't see there being any problem of people understanding the purpose of Parliament. And in fact, quite often, I think the members will agree, people actually bring up to us the issue that the government is too strong in Parliament, and they understand the need to vote for non-ruling party MPs in order to balance out the power in Parliament, which they feel will ultimately be to their benefit. So I think, regardless of what language you use, complex, legal, or simplified, I think many people do understand this point. As I said, I can't predict the future. So it's up to Singaporeans to decide what kind of parliament they want. I don't think I can rule that out as something that won't happen. How long it will take, I don't have a crystal ball, I can't say. But I think for people who believe strongly enough in this, and if the opposition continues to provide credible choices to the people, then I think, it will be a reality in due time.